Hey everybody, welcome to today's Tarot Tuesday. Thank you for joining me in the beautiful nature center that is Placerita Canyon. Came out here for a really nice hike this morning. I got out here around 7 and there was nobody here and it was really nice. And on the way up I saw there's a family of deer that lives up here. They're up here all the time, so every week I see these deer. And this time they were all over the trail. There was about 6 of them, a whole family. It was really nice. So a really wonderful way to start the morning, a really wonderful way to start off a Tarot Tuesday. I checked in, looked back at last week's reading. Usually I remember, usually the impressions kind of stay with me. But for whatever reason, I think there was so much activity this week. I had a live event at Liberate in Sherman Oaks. And that was really wonderful. Met a lot of great people and did a lot of great readings, and really enjoyed that, the opportunity to share and to teach and to channel readings. And then I went to a documentary film premiere event on Sunday, and it was like way more people than I've probably seen in the last year and a half. It was a really amazing film. Scrum, check out scrummovie.com, a wonderful documentary about the first or one of the first and only black rugby head coaches at the collegiate level in the United States. And in only 2 years, he built a national championship winning team from nothing. Really inspiring guy. Check out scrummovie.com. It's a really fantastic film. I would highly recommend streaming it from online. And then yesterday I had a work event, and I had to photograph an event, and there was a lot of people. It was a big organization and lots of political folks from the state, and I was like buzzing last night. I'm like, there's so much energy the last couple days. I don't know what to do with it. So came out here to get grounded today, and we're gonna start you off with your Tarot Tuesday. So thanks for being here. As usual, we're gonna do kind of like the 4-card spread, but today more than 4 cards came up, so we're gonna talk about that. The energy that brought you to the week is the Mother of Wands. Really beautiful card. We see these very vibrant oranges and reds and yellows. This is a card of the root and the sacral and the solar plexus chakras. This is a card that speaks to that feminine aspect of ourselves. You know, we see the snake wrapped up around the rod around her eggs, and this is about taking a very a passionate, strong, a very involved role in nurturing and nourishing those things that set our heart on fire. So last week we were talking about our heart's desire and manifesting that, and starting to nurture those ideas and those seeds that have been planted, so that they can start to kind of sprout into being, right? So the energy that carries us into this week with this first card, pretty much right on track for where we left off last week, right? We got the Mother of Wands. We're talking about nurturing passion, nurturing creativity, nurturing expression. So those things that really set our heart on fire, those things that we can, that feel like we're on mission, right? I just almost got bombed by an acorn. Did you guys see that? Maybe that was a squirrel. The squirrel is not happy with this reading. I don't remember what I was saying. Those deep parts of like our soul expression that make us feel very much on mission, whether it's serving people who are experiencing homelessness, whether it is you have a passion for words and literature, and you've got that passion project you're ready to take off the shelf, whether this is some activism or a cause that you're into, this is the week to nurture and nourish those projects and those things inside of you. So that's what we're coming into this week with. That's what we're carrying into us. Again, very much on par with what was coming through for last week. The energy that's strong with us this week, we pulled the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords, the 8s, you guys will hear me talk about this very often. I'll bring numerology into the suits. 8s very often talk about power and authority. And very specifically our ability to sort of take back our own authority, to be kind of a self-governing sovereign being and to reclaim that. The energy that's strong with us, again, this is the wave that we can kind of ride. It's a flow state that we can step into. The 8 of Swords talks about being in a position where we feel like we're stuck. You know, we have the butterfly kind of in the cocoon hanging upside down, and there's all these swords sort of surrounding it and kind of threatening it, and it's hanging from one sword. And I usually interpret swords as dimensions and aspects of the mind, the ego. So the Eight of Swords talks about being able to simply shift our perspective so that we can get out of this situation that we feel like is threatening us, or the situation that we feel like we're stuck in. So all we have to do is if we flip the sword this way, right? We're out of the woods, so to speak. If we turned it this way completely, we're out of the woods. So this is about wielding our power to choose and to have agency in situations. In any place we feel like we're stuck, we're only stuck in our mind. So this is a very relevant card, I will say, for the stage that we're in as we look at this collective reading that's kind of unfolding over the weeks. So we're in this process now of nurturing and fostering new seeds, right? We've gone through this transformation. We've let go of a lot of old parts of ourselves. We're shedding ego, we're shedding old wounding, old traumas, old patterns, and we're moving into some new things that have come and become more clear over time. So this is a card that's very indicative of, okay, I see what holds me back. I see what my stumbling blocks are. I see what I could be tripping over, and they're present right now, but I know that I have the power to shift that. I know I have the power of my mind and my will to be able to just change my perspective, to look at it from a new way. And that's what releases me from this illusionary sort of prison of being stuck. So that's the energy that's strong with you. So again, I love to present this card. That's why I made this, I kind of created this spread on my own, through my own, investigating and what intuitively felt like a good way to coach and counsel around energy. And I love thinking about, again, that flow. What's the flow state that we're in? What superpower is available to us right now? What is spirit and energy handing us that we can just step into that current and go with it? Your ability to reclaim your power, or to sort of get yourself out of any situations that make you feel stuck, very present. It's strong with you right now. So really tap into that force. The force is strong with you, young Jedi, and you can find yourself reclaiming some more agency and making a very thoughtful choice about how to get out of that stuck patterning. Unconscious influences, the third card. And you pulled the Daughter of Pentacles, and the Daughter of Pentacles was upside down. The way I read upside down cards is often this is energy that is unrealized, untapped, or is maybe passing away in us. And the way that I want to interpret this, the Daughter of Pentacles is a card of, again, a feminine card. So we're looking at feminine qualities. We're looking at a more fluid, a more creative, what's the other word I want to look for? It's a softer approach. It's a little bit more open. It's a little more free and fluid. Whereas, the masculine side of ourself is very direct. It's structured. It's logical. The feminine side is more fluid. It's more creative. It's more adaptable. It's more flexible, right? With that being said, and it's gentle. The daughter and the mother bring a gentleness, those qualities to them, especially when it comes to the pentacles. This card talks about doing the little things behind the scenes with what I usually say is like great mindfulness. So unconscious influences that are maybe not fully realized is, I think we have the ability, if this card was upright, to be more mindful of the details, to be thoughtful about the little things that we do behind the scenes. These are the little. This is like balancing the checkbook. This is making sure the schedule sort of makes sense and isn't stressful, right? And can be done on time and that kind of stuff. This is someone who works behind the scenes to make sure all the little things are tended to. Tended to is a good word, mindfully. And it's upside down, so it's unconscious. So what's some unconscious influences? Well, recognize that maybe right now we might not be fully open or fully mindful of the little things, okay? I would like to see this card right side up. So if you can become aware of it, let's turn this card around. And as we think about moving forward and stepping into this channel of being able to really claim our will and our sovereignty and our agency in matters that make us feel stuck, I think the answer, one of the unconscious things that if we turn it right side up, is to be more mindful of the little things. Don't forget the little things. They always say the devil's in the details, right? So don't forget that the devil's in the details, and being mindful and thoughtful about little purposeful actions. Those are the building blocks for big purposeful actions that bring about great change and transformation, which we're all on that journey right now. We're going through a massive transformative process. So be mindful of the little things, be thoughtful, and let those little tiny thoughtful pieces be the foundation for big transformational change. So where do we end up by the end of the week? A very fitting card, the Eight of Cups. I love that we pulled an 8 at the end of the week, when the energy that was strong with us was the Eight of Swords, right? This is our ability to willfully choose our way out of a situation that makes us feel stuck, right? That's what we saw in the Eight of Swords. The 8, so we've got a paralleling energy here, right? There's definitely a parallel between the 8s when they pop up, or any numbers that pop up in the tarot, at least for me in a reading. Again, 8s, we're talking about power, authority, sovereignty, our ability to sort of wield that power and authority. The Eight of Cups talks about walking away from situations that no longer serve us, cutting our losses, turning our attention to greener pastures, turning our attention to the sun that is coming up over the horizon, as you can see in the card here. So a very fitting card. What this means is that those things that you are working through right now, where you feel stuck, where you feel like things that maybe make you feel like you're being held back from making progress on your journey towards manifesting these new passions and these projects and this new aspect of yourself that really wants to come into being. There's going to be sort of an emotional letting go and an emotional release to that when you make that conscious and thoughtful choice to step out of what makes you feel stuck. It doesn't have to be as big and dramatic as ending a relationship or leaving a job or something like that. It could be, but if it was that, I might see maybe some different cards. But there's an element of letting go. There's an element of releasing what doesn't serve us anymore. So those 8 swords, or I should say those 7 swords that had us trapped, this is us releasing all of that stuff, right? This is walking away from saying, okay, I acknowledge this doesn't serve my highest good. This doesn't serve my vision, my path, where I'm going. This doesn't serve the person I'm becoming. So we're going to at least emotionally release that, right? Whatever that attachment is. So again, it doesn't really necessarily have to mean you cut ties with people, places, and things or organizations. But it could be, if we go back to the Daughter of Pentacles, changing habits, right? Changing routines. It could be releasing an old routine that doesn't work for us. It could be releasing an old diet or old, way of eating or feeding ourselves. With new choices and with this decisive and thoughtful action, you're going to let go of some things that no longer serve you. And there's going to be an emotional element of that. So just be aware of it so it doesn't catch you by surprise. The good news is I pulled cards for the big lesson. You pulled the Four of Wands, which is a card of celebration. It's a card of celebration. It's a Wands card, just like the Mother of Wands, and they brought us into the reading. So this is a celebration. This is like a rite of passage. You did it. This is where we're headed. You've done the good work. You've chosen willful, thoughtful action to move into that new space, the new flow, letting go of the things that no longer serve you. Hooray, congratulations, you've graduated to the next step, the next level. And it feels really good because you also pulled the Ten of Cups, which is a radiant, vibrant, beautiful card. Cups, of course, relating to matters of emotions, creativity, expression. Very fitting, right? Very fitting because last week we were talking about our heart's desire and a lot of Cups cards. And finally, I said, well, what's the big lesson? What's the major arcana card that can tell us what's this big lesson? And you pulled Temperance. So those of you who've been following for the last couple weeks, we've pulled the Temperance card several times because this phase has been so much about transformation, and it has been about renewal and healing and integration. And that's what the Temperance card talks about. Healing, renewal, integration, harmony, balance, the synergy, and the synthesis of opposites, right? So this is the old you meeting the new you, and coming into being and integrating all those lessons, right? The lessons, the wisdom, and the consciousness, the new consciousness that is budding. So that's where we're headed. Really nice. Nice little reading for the week. Things are looking up, my friends. I'm closing in on this 15-minute mark since Instagram will put a limit on how long my Instagram TV video can be. I'm gonna call it quits here. But if you have any questions, thoughts, reflections, let me know in the comments below. I would love to know how this resonated for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel compelled, drop a tip in the tip jar on Venmo at the Bomberger. It would be much appreciated, but no obligation. I'm here to be of service, and I hope that this reading serves you today and this week on your journey.